Yo, shalom, shalom, Israel. This is What's the Word. We're here for another episode. I think this is what episode number 5 for us.
Think so. I don't.
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5. So what you're gonna need today? You're gonna need a pen, paper, or a pad, or if you got an iPad or Apple Pen, whatever you got, you're gonna need one of them, right? You're gonna need your KJV Bible with the Apocrypha KJV. And you're just gonna sit back, relax, and watch what we bring out today, man. What we got going on?
So today we are going to be talking about, some COVID stuff, what's happening in the news with COVID, things that this nation is doing, the things that, different legislators are coming down with, and just, trying to put it in our people's ear. Hey, yo, we got to be girded up during these times that we living in. We see a lot of prophecy going forth. We see a lot of things happening. Of course, there's a lot of back chatter about things that's going on. So we just want to, kind of share some light, keep brothers up to speed, and to keep brothers watching, because the scriptures tell us to watch. The scriptures tell us to be ready. And so, and the scriptures also tell us to sound the alarm. So that's what we're doing. We sound an alarm. We're keeping our people up on their toes, and we really trying to stay 10 toes down and stay girded up and stay ready for whatever this wicked devil, bring out at us. Because we know that it is going to come. He is going to shoot some things at us. So we just had an incident, take place out here in California. Our Governor Newsom, is, with the foolery as usual. He's been with the foolery. I can't stand him. Even when, COVID first jumped off, and they shut down everything, shut down small businesses, private businesses, private business owners really felt the effects, when COVID and everything happened. I myself had my own little small business, and Newsom shut it down. Right, we took hits. And so the crazy thing about it, though, so he shut down like all of the wineries, during COVID. But the crazy thing is, his winery was still open. He was still making sales. He was still getting paid. When COVID was at the top of everything, I mean, at his peak, he still had his winery going on, still making money. And then, not to mention that, he was still going out. They had a whole news article where this fool is, out to dinner with a whole bunch of his friends or whoever it was, and none of them got masks on. And, he had the mask mandate, like, oh, you can't be nowhere without your mask. You can't be in, a facility without your mask. And it can't be groups greater than, 10 people or something like that. But this fool is out at a dinner. Nobody got masks on, and they all having a good old time. So basically, we just going to get into this because, like I said, Newsom is again up to his foolery. And so, this last incident or this last thing that he's passed is actually using the National Guard to help with COVID-19 testing, right? So my first question is, why do you need to use the National Guard to help with COVID-19 testing? Why are you using the National Guard for that? So, a couple antennas and red flags start to go up. So we're just going to get into this article. Just hit a couple points. This was published on January 7th, 2022. Today is January 9th. So that was 2 days ago. This article was published. It reads, Governor Gavin Newsom today announced that he has activated the California National Guard to support local communities with additional testing facilities and capacity amid the national surge in COVID-19 cases driven by the Omicron variant. Now, first, let's get into that. So they got more variants coming out than I even know, man. I can't even think of anything. Right? It's like a new variant comes out every week.
Every week, man. Every week. They had the Delta. What they got? They got Omicron now. Oh, then I just heard that there was something in LA, San Diego area. It's called the Flurona.
Flurona? What?
I just read it last
remix of the Corona.
I was like, dang, the flu and the COVID had a baby, huh?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That don't make no sense. No sense. So yeah, so they got all these different variants. They got all these different boosters. It seemed like it wasn't just the first shot. So you had to get the first shot, then you had to get the second shot, then you had to get a booster, then you had to get a booster for the booster. And then you got to get a booster for the booster for the booster. So you taking all these shots, you're injecting all of this stuff into your body. And now we not telling nobody don't get no shot. Right. Look, if you feel like you want to get the shot, by all means, go ahead and get the shot. I'm not telling you don't. But as for me, I'm not taking none of them shots. I'm not getting no booster. I'm not putting nothing in my body. First and foremost, I don't even get the flu shot.
Right.
So if I don't even get the flu shot, what am I going to get this shot for?
Man, I ain't had the flu shot since I was like 8 or 9 years old, man.
Come on, you hear me? Hey, you remember that one song where I forget who rapped it, but he was like, I ain't had L since Pac died.
Right.
Hey, I ain't had the shot since Pac died.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not getting that thing, man. But so, going back to our article, it said California has led the country's fight against COVID-19, implementing first in the nation public health measures that have helped save tens of thousands of lives. Okay, said Governor Newsom. Right. We continue to support communities in their response to COVID by bolstering testing capacity. All right. This new action is on top of the existing 6,000 testing sites that have been set up across the state. The recent demand-based expansion of hours at state-operated sites and the 9.6 million tests that the state has distributed to schools since early December. Wow. Okay. The announcement comes as Omicron continues to spread rapidly across the globe, accounting for at least 80% of COVID-19 cases in California. The National Guard plan would deploy over 200 Cal Guard members across 50 Optum serve sites around the state, providing interim clinical staff while permanent staff are hired, according to capacity for walk-ins, assisting with crowd control, and backfiling for staff absences, all in an effort to conduct more tests for Californians. Additional members of Guard will be deployed next week in similar capacities. So again, for me, it's just red flags. First of all, why do you need to use the National Guard to help with testing?
Right.
I just don't get that personally. And so again, when looking at that, to me, that's kind of like setting the stage for something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's setting the stage for something massive. And again, now, according to my understanding, Omicron isn't really that much of a really bad variant of COVID-19.
Right.
Yeah.
It's basically it's like having, say you go to Walgreens or whatever, you go get a thing of Dayquil or NyQuil, a little pack. Everything, those symptoms on the pack of the Dayquil NyQuil package, those are all the symptoms of Omicron. Headache, stuffy nose, sore throat, cough, congestion. You can have the flu or a cold, and they gonna, you go to the hospital, they're gonna say, oh, you got COVID. You got the Omicron. When it's the same symptoms, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just funny.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like, they keep coming down with all these different variants, and then every time one drops. And the crazy thing is, it says the people who have been given the test, the people who have been immunized are
Mhm.
still coming down with it.
Right.
They're still getting it. So if you can still, and here's what they say. They say, well, if you get COVID and you have the shot, the symptoms are going to be less, but you can still get it. So I don't understand, why do they feel like implementing a mandate that a person has to have it? Hey, if it's my life, what do you care? You know, why are you forcing me to take a shot where, okay, if I get it, I'm just going to have severe symptoms? You know, if I want to live with that, if I want to take that risk, that's my prerogative, that's my choice.
Right.
But if someone who has the shot can still catch it, whether they have the shot or not, you can still get COVID whether you have the shot.
Mhm.
Why do you care if I don't? That's the part that I don't understand. I don't get why it becomes such an issue then, where everybody has to be vaccinated.
All right.
You know, and
It's lucky. Go ahead, other one.
no, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
I was gonna say, it's like, why does the protected, right, have to be protected by the non-protected? You get what I'm saying? The people that's already vaccinated, they should be good. So why are you worried about if I'm vaccinated or not? If I'm not vaccinated, you protected. So who cares?
Yeah, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Especially if you can still get it from somebody who's protected also.
Right.
Did you see the article where they suspended a Navy ship? The Navy ship was Navy man was about to go out on deployment, and all of the Navy personnel that was going to be on that ship, although they were 100% vaccinated, they still came down with COVID, and they had to stop delay the deployment because all the sailors came down with COVID.
Wow.
But they were 100% vaccinated.
Wow, that's
crazy. Things like that just makes no sense.
Yeah.
Con, go ahead.
No, Con, to me, it's just like these people are getting so sinister that they got to bring up these variants every couple months just to keep on pushing that fear. That fear is the reason why our people are so scared. Whatever the news says, they're gonna run to it.
That's right.
My parents are so scared of this disease, even though they were sick as hell in November. They all had COVID, you know, and they have the shot. They're all shotted up, you know. But it's like the news has to keep on pushing this fear to keep our people really just entrapped in what they think is the correct way of doing stuff. So they keep on bringing these variants. So now the news says this: we cannot get to the ones that are not vaccinated. So now what we got to do, we got to keep on scaring the ones that are vaccinated to put pressure on their own families. You have to take it because this is going to happen to you. That was going to happen to you. So they're really going to try to divide us. They're going to try to divide us in a way where they're going to leave us like, well, I got to take this shot. I want to see my mother. I want to see my kids. I want to see my cousins. I have to take the shot. It's that pressure. All it is, and just the way they work, like in a way, I kind of give them props because I'm like, God damn, you guys really got to push this. You guys really got to push this, and people will listen. And that's what we try to do with this word. We really got to push this. This is why people start listening. You know, because these devils are getting so sinister that they're really. Next week we're gonna find another variant. Facts. You know, like you were saying, almost everybody's vaccinated, but yeah, the fear's still there. The NBA, almost 99% of the NBA is shotted up. You know, they have a shot. But yeah, then we always got these teams shutting down. Why? Because 10 or 12 of their players got the COVID. Why don't they talk about that more often? Like, they gotta talk about us. You know, all praise to the Most High. We haven't got sick like that. You know, I don't want Shaquille. You know, he is recovered from that disgusting stuff.
Right.
You know, but all praise to the Most High. He did. You know.
Yeah. It's lucky. I mean, like I said, it was like I had a cold, man, or you know, I ain't had a flu shot in years, so I don't even know what the flu would even feel like, right? But you know, I had a sore throat for a little bit. I had chest congestion. I was tired, you know, and it only lasted like 3, maybe 4 days. But you know what told me up though, because I had to quarantine in my house. I was in the room for 5 days, man. I was losing my mind.
Prison in your own home, literally.
I was losing my mind, man. And I say this jokingly, right? And I was telling the brothers this in the chat, you know, that I praise the Most High that I ain't never did nothing to send me to jail or prison, because I don't know if I'll be able to make it, man. Just sitting in my room for 5 days. My wife had to when she came to deliver food,
That's crazy.
she had to knock on the door and be like,
Time.
it's chow time. It's chow time.
It's folly, you know.
And she would leave the food on the floor, man. I'm
Hey.
like, damn, man, that's cool. I'm just glad I ain't did nothing to land me in prison or in jail, man. Thank you, Most High, man.
And you know what, Salakia, so that brings me to actually this first precept that I want to grab, Jeremiah 30:7. Because you know we're joking about it, and really right now we can, because you know really, you know, it hasn't really hit the fan yet, you know, and we haven't really had to really start to endure anything heavy yet. But those times are coming, those days are coming, and we see brothers cracking and folding under the pressure that's just going on right now. You can't work unless you get that jab. Right? If you don't get that jab, you ain't working. You know, if you don't get that jab, you can't get on the airplane. If you don't get that jab, you can't do this. If you don't get that jab, you can't do that. And this is really, it's just the start of everything that's going to be coming. So you really got to start to really check and examine yourself and say, man, if I can't really deal with this, and again, I'm not politicking. I'm not campaigning for nobody to go out and do it. I'm not.
Right.
But if you can't deal with some of the ramifications about the consequences, if you in your heart say, I don't feel comfortable with this, I don't want to do this, but you are allowed to or pressured to do it, even though it goes against everything that you stand for, it goes against everything that you feel, you got to ask yourself, really, when the hard times do come, how are you going to stand up to that? And people will be really so quick to say, oh no, I'll die, you know, for this, I'll die for that.
People are gonna fold.
Right? You're gonna fold.
Yeah.
You know, let me go. Who got that for me?
Come on, I got another one.
Come, bring that up.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it.
There's not going to be any day like the ones that are coming up. It's going to be so great. It's going to be, man, like the brother just said, it's going to be, y'all are going to fold. When it's going to be a lot that fold when that day comes. That's going to be a terrible day. Read.
Con. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it.
Con. So we know that Jacob's trouble is coming. That's going to be a terrible day when that day comes. Right? But we're going to be saved out of that. You know, the scripture says, he that endures until the end shall be saved. You got to endure that tribulation. You got to endure that testing. You got to be ready to go through that fire. You got to keep on pushing, regardless of whatever comes down. And again, I'm not campaigning for nobody to do nothing. Don't get that twisted. SOT is not saying, hey, get the jab or don't get the jab. We're not saying that. You got to do what's comfortable for you. You know, but what I'm saying is that if you say that in your mind that this is not something I'm comfortable with, I don't know much about this shot that they giving. I don't know what's in it. I don't know the side effects it's gonna have. I don't want my children to take it. I want to wait and I want to see what's gonna happen. But you allow yourself to be pressured into doing something. You allow yourself to be forced into making a decision. You have to ask yourself, when that trouble comes, that trouble like has never been, how are you going to stand up to that? These are just things that we have to ask ourselves. Grab Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. Because again, when you come into this walk, again, we know that there's certain things that come with it. We know that it's not going to be all roses. We know it's not going to be all sunshine, but we take it because we know that we have to endure. Who got that? Sirach chapter 2, verse 1.
Khan, I got it. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right. So that temptation is going to come. And it's not just temptation like, oh man, I want to do this and I know I'm not supposed to. That temptation is going to come when, hey, look, man, yeah, I love, Yahweh. I love Yahweh Shai, but hey, I don't got no choice. I got to do this. That temptation to turn on your brothers.
Mm-hmm.
When they come and start saying, hey, who haven't done this yet? Let us know. That temptation to fold when things start to get tough, when things start to get hard, that temptation to be like, man, I don't know. I can't do this no more. That temptation when say, oh, no, Yahweh Shai, who's that? I love Jesus. What are you talking about? Who's Yahweh Shai?
Right.
That temptation to deny his name. Because who's the ones that's really calling him by his true name?
Don't be like Peter.
Right? Denying him 3 times.
Don't be like
Peter. He said, no, I never deny you.
Right.
Right?
Third crow. He heard it and was like, oh, man.
Well, hey, what they said in Minister Society? Hey, you know you done messed up, don't you?
Real, man. Hey, Slaki, I got a precept, man. Get Matthew 24, and we can start at verse 6. We'll read to 8. We'll start at verse 6.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places.
So Yahushua said there's going to be famines. What are they doing now, man? It's pretty much to the point to where they're saying if you don't have the vaccine, you can't go to restaurants. That's can't go, to the grocery store. My bank is even closed now. Right? My bank is closed because of this thing. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, and there'll be pestilence. Pestilence is a disease. Right? It's going to be pestilence all through the world. And that's what's happening now. COVID, Omicron, Delta, ain't no whatever other Greek letter they coming out with next week. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead and read verse 8.
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All these are going to be beginning of your sorrows. When they cut off the EDD card, when they cut off the WIC, you know what I'm saying? This world going to go crazy, especially here in the Bay Area. when they cut all that stuff off, it's gonna be people trying to rob people. It's gonna be people, trying to kill people for some food. It's gonna be all kind of craziness, all because of COVID. All because of COVID, right? I yield.
Count out of one. It's lucky out of one. If I get a precept, please, Revelations 2:10.
Con, that's the spirit. Hey, real quick before we go there, let me bring out verse 9 too.
Yeah, get out of one.
This is Matthew 24 verse 9. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right? So you got to understand, we gonna get turned in. The people who stand against that, who don't want it, you gonna be taught. Hey, you gonna have your family members, you gonna have friends, you gonna have co-workers be like, oh no, yeah, he ain't got the jab yet. Oh no, he can don't come to work. You haven't been vaccinated. You're going to be given up, right? Because you stand against things, right? When Jacob's troubles really start to come, when Jacob's troubles really start to hit, right? What do you say? We're going to be afflicted for the name of Yahweh Shai, because we profess that name, right? So like I said, or actually like the brother just brought out, these are just the beginning.
The beginning, man.
We're just seeing the beginning of things start to form and take place. It ain't even really gotten bad yet. But when you can't even go into a store because you're unvaccinated, think of how that's laying the groundwork. You can't buy, you can't sell, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's just laying the groundwork. This is just the beginning of sorrows.
Come
on. You want a Revelations 2:10?
Yeah, Baba Kashada one.
Come. This is the book of Revelation, verse 2 and chapter 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Count out of one. And that's the number one thing that a lot of our people are lacking of is faith.
Con.
And that could even happen to a lot of us in this truth right now. We could lack that faith. It's gonna, that time is gonna happen. We're gonna have a sword against our neck, and they're literally gonna tell us, what are you gonna choose? You're gonna choose life, or you're gonna choose death.
Mm-hmm.
And that sword don't even gotta be a physical sword. It could be like, do you want to see your family, or you don't want to see your family? Do you want to eat, or you don't want to eat? You gotta have faith. One thing that I always trip out on, like my own time, I always trip out or start thinking a lot like how the apostles died. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen that post on Facebook and seen how the apostles died. You think about it, like they didn't die because they had this badass army, or they had these badass weapons that everybody feared them. All they had was this truth. All they were teaching was Yahweh Shai. They were teaching the truth of Yahweh. That's what got them killed. But they took that on. Why? Because they knew that they had a crown coming. They had faith to the end. They knew these devils were gonna come after them. I mean, Paul. We see what Paul with that Edomite was at Agrippa in Acts 26. He tried to throw him into prison, but he stayed faithful. This truth has made him so wise that he didn't bow down to him right away. He didn't right away say, you know what, Agrippa, okay, I got you. I ain't gonna teach you how no more. Like he just talked to him in a way where the Edomite was like, you know what, I like the way you talk, I like the way you speak, because he was using wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know how to work with them too. How to want Yahweh that was saying. And SOT, we ain't gonna tell you, take the shot or don't take it. We ain't gonna tell you that. You use your own wisdom. But one thing we gotta remember, we gotta have faith to the end. We just can't get weak in this. We just can't be saying, you know what? Well, I love my family so much. God knows my heart. I love my family. I gotta do this for them. Just have faith. Continue to build up that faith. Of course, build up your immune system. Do what you got to do to stay healthy. But you have to continue in this faith.
Come.
What did I use for now? I don't want.
Can you get Matthews 10 and 30? We'll start at 34. Because like right now, like, and I'm not gonna get into like specifics, but like I'm going through it right now with a family member, man, and this person literally said they tried to give me that guilt trip, like, well, what about your kids? Don't you want your kids to be healthy and make sure they're protected? You know, talking about COVID, right? The COVID shot. And I just care about the kids and this, that, and the third, you know. And they did something. They made a phone call they wasn't supposed to make, man.
Wow.
You know, they made a phone call they wasn't supposed to make, and they was like, well, you know, I felt that, you know, I needed to say something because I care about the kids, and because of your belief, you know, you should get the kids vaccinated and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, because of my belief is making sure that I'm not gonna get vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I got into a whole thing with them, but you know, but go ahead, get Matthew 10 and we'll start at 34.
Come the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword.
Yahushua came to cut people up. You know what I'm saying? To cut them up. Go ahead.
For I come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
And you see, he came to put you against your family, man. Your friends, your family, your close friends, your co-workers, whoever it may be. You know, this person was just, I don't believe in they literally said the Most High gave us common sense. I said, yeah, he gave me common sense not to get this shot. You know what I'm saying? And you know, me and this family member, we're not seeing eye to eye right now. So go ahead, keep going.
Come on, one. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
This, you see, right there. He said, your family members is gonna be the worst ones. You know, you might have some friends that you don't talk to anymore, but you wouldn't expect your family members to go against you because you believe what the Bible actually says. Right? Go ahead, keep going.
He that loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
You know, that really made me upset, man. Because when this person said, well, don't you love your kids? What kind of question is that? Of course I love my kids, right? But I don't, and it sound messed up, right? And I've told many people this before. I love my kids. I would die for my kids, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I love the Most High more. And people would say, oh man, you selfish. You putting God before your kids and da-da-da. You damn right. If it wasn't for the Most High, I wouldn't even be here today, period. I've been in 5 motorcycle accidents where the last motorcycle accident I was in, I almost flew off a cliff that was like 300 feet deep.
Wow.
I look at all this stuff that I went through, having blood clots, having the motorcycle accidents, I went through somebody's back window from a motorcycle accident, landed straight through on my back through their back window. And I walked out of there with no problem. Of course, I'm going to love the Most High more than I love my kids. Period. That's it. I yield, man.
And that's what we was just saying too, that you're gonna have to go through that. And so just like you had to go through someone doing that just about the shot, just think how crazy it's gonna be when Jacob's troubles really hit and people are turning you in, calling the authorities on you. Oh, here's one right here. This is one of those Israelites. They're one of the ones that believe in Yahushua. They're one of the ones who has faith in Christ and the commandments. right? And the enemy is man, the enemy is raw.
Right.
He's angry with the remnant of the seed. We are that remnant. That should really make you feel a certain type of way and understand that there is a war that is coming. In fact, that war is already taking place right now. It's not physical, it's psychological, right? And they are strategically putting all their pieces in place. That war is coming, and you got to start preparing yourself for that war. Mentally, spiritually, Salakia, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Spiritually first. You got to get in this book. You got to keep these laws. You got to keep these commandments. Because only by keeping these commandments, stand in this book, that's what's going to give you that strength. That's what's going to build you up to be able to sustain the wickedness that is about to come on the Most High's people. Somebody grab me Luke chapter 10 and 19. That's the only thing. This ain't a game. This ain't for play. And that's the difference between us and each and every one of these churches that's out here. They're not preparing the flock for what's to come. They're preparing the flock for their next big check. Oh, God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. But they're not building you up to be able to withstand the wiles, the attacks of the enemy that's about to come on the people of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing that. Bring that out. Luke 10 and 19.
This is Luke chapter 10, verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions.
The Most High has given us the power. That power is keeping these commandments. We get our strength through that. Philippians 4:13. You know, the Christians love to call that out all day long. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, but I can't keep not one commandment.
They keep 10,000 laws every day, though.
Every day. But when it comes to the Most High, they can't do it. Or they don't want to do it. Right? But the Most High has given us power. Read.
And over all the power of the enemy.
And over all the power of the enemy. It don't matter what they think they can do. Hey, this is a fight that's already won. We just gotta endure it. Mm-hmm. We know the outcome. We know the end of the story. You know, it's like a movie that you've already seen before, right? You watching it like, I love the Avengers. Hey, no cap. And that's what the youngins say, right? No cap. I love the Avengers, no cap. Right? And I can watch Endgame. I can watch Infinity Wars. I can watch some things over and over again. Even though I already know what's going to happen. I already know the outcome. But I watch them, right? I know what's going to happen. I know Iron Man finna get dealt with at the end of the movie. You know, I already know that. I know Thanos finna get popped up off the existence. I know that, right? Just like I know the Israelites are given the kingdom. So because of that, right? Because I'm getting built up in these scripts, right? No matter what happens, I'm building myself up in these scripts so that when that day comes, if they say, you know what, you getting ready to be put to death for this. Are you ready to die for that? You know what I'm saying? I'm building myself up in these scripts so that when that day comes, I can say, you know what? Hey, do what you gotta.
That's lucky.
You know, I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta be built up in this book. You gotta be keeping those commandments. Let's finish that off.
This is Luke chapter 10, verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you.
Con, look, I don't care what y'all do to me. That's why all of the disciples, that's why they was like, yo, man, whatever. When Stephen was being stoned, man, he was like, man, I'm for it. Do what you gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, imagine that. Knowing that you're about to get stoned. And they're not hitting you with small rocks. Man, they picking up big rocks. Big rocks. You getting hit upside your head with giant rocks.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he knew. He was ready for it. Are you ready for it? Are you building yourself up in these scripts? Are you preparing yourself for what will eventually take place? And ready because you know the glory that comes with that. Because you know all the promises that comes with that. You know what you gonna get to look forward to. I yield on that.
Yeah, Khan out of one. And that's what true, you know, Salaki out of one. You know, and that's what true. We gotta be ready for what's gonna happen, and we gotta be ready for these beatings we're gonna get for not wanting to bow down to what these so-called powers are forcing us to do. I want to get into a small count in the book of Acts. Somebody give me a Acts 5:39 through 41.
Con, this is
And
the book of Acts, chapter 5, and you said verse 39?
Yeah, Con 39 to 41.
Con, but if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against God.
Slack. You know, so anything we're saying, anything we're doing is of the Most High, because we're obeying the Most High and fearing the Most High. We're taking the Most High's counsel first before we take any person as world's counsel. So everything we say, everything we do, we have a scripture for it. We'll give you the understanding of it according to what the Most High left for us. You know, but of course, these people, they want to fight against the Most High. They want to say, no, what you guys are saying is not true. What you guys are saying is false. They're fighting against the Most High every single day. And this account right here is the apostles going to court. They're going to court for preaching Yahushai. They're literally about to be put to death. And guess what? What these apostles are going through, everything was written for, aforetime was written for our learning. So that's this right. is going to happen to a lot of us. You know, we're going to go to these courts. We're not, if anything, a lot of us are going through these courts within our own family members. They're literally trying to get the judge against us so we could be persecuted for what we believe in. Can I continue, out of one?
And to him they agreed. And when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they could.
So right there, the apostles, you know, they called them. Like the apostles are not going to be guilty of anything because all they're doing is teaching Yahushua and beating them. That means they got jumped. They literally got jumped by these people. You know, they got jumped for teaching Yahushua. Even though they were correct, there was no guile found in them, but they still got jumped. Can I continue, out of one?
They commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahushua and let them go.
So even though they beat them up, they told them, because they were speaking the truth, all they told them, okay, just do not teach no more to Yahushua. And we know that Yahushua it comes in the whole volume of the book. He is the truth. Do not speak about this truth no more. It just shows you how much our people really do hate Jesus Christ. And I'm gonna use this word because the way they call him. They hate Jesus Christ so bad. It's like they love the lie, but they do not love who Yahushua really is. Can I continue, out of one?
And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer for his name.
God. So it's like it. So they were kind of worthy. Isn't that what out of one Shaquan brought out in Matthew chapter 10? You got to be count worthy. And that's what they were count worthy. Why? Because they suffered for Yahushua. They were happy. They were literally happy. They got their, and I'm gonna say like this, they got their ass beat, and they were still happy. They're still walking with their chest high, with a grin on their face. They didn't bow down to these people. They didn't say, you know, well, okay, you're right. We're not gonna teach you Yahushua no more. As we keep on reading, they keep on teaching you Yahushua.
That's right.
And you keep on reading more, you can read about Brother Stephen. He didn't stop it.
Mhm.
That's what we gotta be. We cannot stop, no matter what they throw at us, no matter what kind of fear tactic they try to use. We have to stay faithful in this truth. With
That's
that, I
right.
yield to one.
Con. I want to bring something out too. It's Luke chapter 21, and we can start at 34. You know, we're gonna be going through a lot of stuff, man, and you know, as we see, Yahweh Shai is telling us to pray. You know, when all this stuff happens, when they cut the food off, cut the water supply off, what you gonna do? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The only thing we can do is sit here and pray, man, and fast. You know, go ahead, get that.
Comes the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares.
So when we going through stuff, man, because the word surfeiting, it means like a headache, right? When you going through life and you know you having all these problems and stuff, the world is going to give you a headache, and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that they come upon you unaware. So there's going to be unexpected things that come to you in life, and they're going to give you problems, right? Things come to me every day. They they just raised up my kids go to this daycare place. Well, not daycare, but like after school program, right? $700 a month. They just raised it up.
Good grief.
700 for 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Damn.
You got, man, y'all crazy out y'all damn mind. But go ahead, keep going. Go ahead, 35.
For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth.
See, there's going to be problems. We're going to get in situations that's everybody, all of us are going to go through issues on this planet, right? Go ahead.
Con. Watch thee therefore, and pray always, and ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass.
So when they cut all the food supply off, you know, they got the farmers telling the farmers not to grow no food right now,
Right.
and they're actually paying the farmers. You got Bill Gates over here owning 100 million acres of land in the U.S., right?
Goddamn devil.
You know, all these issues that we going on, man. We gotta pray so we can come and be worthy of in front of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And the Most High. You know, go ahead, finish that out real quick.
And to stand before the Son of Man.
The Son of Man is Yahweh Shai. And it says we got to pray so we can escape all these things that's going to happen to us, right? If we keep the commandments and we have faith in Yahweh Shai, the Most High is going to listen to us. You know, we brought this scripture out a couple episodes ago, but what is it, 2 Chronicles 7:14? He said, if my people shall pray and be humble themselves and turn away from their wicked ways, he's gonna hear us.
That's right.
Right? But if we not keeping the commandments and having faith in Yahweh Shai, what's that? John 9:36, I believe. It says that the Most High don't listen to sinners.
Right.
You know, yeah, I think that's John 9:36 or something like that. But you know, we gotta pray. It's like Yahweh Shai said, we gotta pray so we can escape all these situations that's going to be coming our way during, you know, quote unquote Jacob's trouble. I yield.
Another one.
Well, I don't have anything else. I do want to pull that script, though. We call it because I mean that's heavy. That's heavy. The Most High doesn't hear sinners.
John 9:31.
Yeah, You got that?
Yeah, another one. This book of John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of God and does his will, him he heareth.
And we know what the will of the Most High is, right? In fact, we're not going to assume that everyone who's watching this video knows. Let's get it. Psalms 40:8.
Con.
Because the brother, you said something heavy, man. We got to turn to the Most High. We got to seek His face. We got to humble ourselves, right? We got to pray. But if we're sinning, if we're sinners, the Most High is not listening to us.
Mm-hmm. This is Psalms chapter 40 and verse 8.
Con.
I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, the law is within my heart.
The what?
The law is within my heart.
Con, the law. That's the Most High's will. Don't let no pastor, no pimp preacher tell you anything different. The law is the will of the Most High. You want your prayers heard, you got to be keeping the law. Point blank, period. That's what the Most High is looking for. That's what the Most High wants. Turn back, repent of your wicked ways, and turn back. Keep the law, have the faith in Yahweh Shai. And I don't have anything else, unless brothers got anything else they want to bring out.
I don't want to yield.
I yield, man. I yield.
All praises to the Most High. Call hallelujah. Let's grab Romans 10:1. This is why we do what we do. There's no collection plate here. We teach for the love of our people. Romans 10:1.
This is Romans chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
All praises to the Most High. Hey, brother Yahweh.
I'm your brother Shaquat.
Brother Yara'ah.
And we are the Cali Connect. This is What's the Word. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Patreon. Hit us up on the YouTube, Facebook, all as Sons of Thunder Israelites. Again, I'm brother Shaquat.
Brother Yara'ah.
And again, this is What's the Word from your Cali Connect, man. Shalom.
Shalom.